Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We're going to take you around the industry in about an hour here. All the latest happening in projects, collections, people. Pretty solid day over the last 24 hours. Nothing like absolutely mind-blowing like Binance or Blur or Black. Like it was a standard day. Shit happened. We're going to cover it.
No shots fired.
No shots were fired. They're getting close in the proof community, I think. But anyways, Biggie Poppins, I am happy to be sitting here with you today, bud. Gifted as well in his Avagachi sweater and a cowboy hat, as one does. Good to see both of y'all. Biggie, let's start with you, man. How was your last 24 hours, or how was your night, should I say? Appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked, dude. It's been good. I'm looking forward to the Squig DAO Elevate Heart in a little while, right around the time we sign off. Also stoked that I snagged that Axo by Jiwa that you saw, man. I was bummed because like sometimes you set the alarms, you do everything right, and then you just miss it, and it's like, dude, I got it, and it was like sold out. And I just started having to do the snipe, right? And lo and behold, I see this beauty. I don't know what idiot decided to sell this thing, but I mean, seriously, just I know GIF has a really rare, beautiful one and all that, but this just I got enamored with, and I'm really happy with it, dude. I look forward to visiting it frequently and putting it into a fucking spin tail of fucking neurotic craziness anytime I'm like going insane. It's gonna be like my little mirror Web3 mirror on the wall. It's awesome. It's such a cool project, really cool human being. So yeah, I'm good, man.
So
stoked.
Yeah, so Jiwa joined us at the end of GM Web3 Morning Show. Gifted, how was that episode there with Ape Comms talking with Jiwa at the end? How are you doing?
Yeah, it was great, man. I'm good. Thanks for asking, Q. Appreciate you. Yeah, I woke up today and I was just feeling like an Avagachi cowboy. So that's who I am today. Ape Comms was awesome. Shout out SSP and Lost for coming through, updating us on everything happening in that community. And thoughts on Ape Chain is definitely sort of at the forefront of what I think we're thinking about. A lot of people are thinking about. And then yes, Jiwa hopped in right at the end to give us a quick update on how he's feeling, what's up with Axo. Big win. W for the community. W for him yesterday. I just retweeted your piece, Biggie. Looks very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Chef's kiss. It's a gorgeous piece. I think that like people that are like flooring these or like flipping them for like 0.01 or numbskulls, these are special, very, very special.
You know what's crazy? I wonder if they even know that it's interactive, right?
Like, they probably don't. That's the thing is like, dude, there's so much that goes into these types of projects, and we don't have to do a deep dive into like the work and the code and all the stuff that Jiwa does to these, but these are really special pieces. They're beautiful, interactive, reactive, dynamic, and yeah, man, I you can go play with them for hours and come up with all different types of outputs and cool situations with them. So anyway, man, just super proud of Jiwa.
Yeah, also SSP and Lost joining us there on GM Web3 talking about Ape Comms. They just had their proposal pass. I'm blanking on the actual number of the AIP, but essentially it allows them to take what they're doing with Ape Comms and utilize the APE Coin Twitter profile that has like hundreds of thousands of views. So it just takes it to another level. So some really good conversations. Maybe we can get into that later in the episode. We're going to hit you with the don't speckle early. Okay. So we're going to hit you with the don't speckle on NFTs, on crypto, on life. Well, maybe speculate on life a little bit. But anyways, don't speckle here in just a moment. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's watching us on YouTube Live. DP, Squashman. I think I saw Easy there early in the episode. Appreciate y'all. If you're watching over there on X, I see you. We're sharing out the live episode over there. If you're on Twitch or watching us afterwards, Choina, for example, is definitely watching us afterwards. Big OVOT to you. But the rest of y'all that catch us post live, we appreciate you guys so much. We're going to get started here on today's episode. What I have on the dashboard here, I've got a couple quick local updates. DeGods is going to be a major topic today. They had that big Clarity announcement last night. Illuvium is launching on Epic Game Store today. This is like a really under the radar kind of launch. Maybe not so much, but I think the larger space isn't kind of going in a hubbub about the fact that they're actually launching gameplay on Epic. So I'm interested to talk about that. MadLads hitting all-time highs. Magic Eden launch a cross-chain wallet that is going to be in your Google Chrome here shortly. Some CZ news. Nansen. We're going to bring up some quick grapes as well. And then we got a variety of other pieces that these guys love to talk about. Guys, anything based on that? Well,
don't forget, apparently Richard Hart is on the run. He's on the lam.
Fucking yeah.
It's that's a big story.
A recurring story.
We should pull up one or two of those videos of him. Infamous videos.
Don't make me, please.
They're painful.
I think we have enough characters with this type of fucking like a trajectory in this space to warrant like a show on Netflix. No, like
sure, yeah.
I bet you could do one by now. Like,
dude,
you know, like they have those killer ones. We could do one like Web3 criminals.
Dude, I was gonna go with Wives of Web3. I think that would be the drama. Like, can you imagine the women that are crazy enough to fucking marry some of the like a Richard Hart? Some of these
you're
dudes?
in Hollywood. You're around a lot. They're fucking nuts, but they're very willing and able to.
Yes, Richard Hart.
Like, yeah,
you do you, sir.
That's enough of that. All right, I'm sharing out the episode.
How's he gonna get away from anybody when he's got so many bags? Like, how's he running?
I ask myself that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't run like this. You got to drop some of those. You got to put some of those bags down, sir. You gotta run a little bit faster, man. He's like waddling.
Hex token down 99% as well from all-time highs. So yeah, really great for the holders, I guess, of that token. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I didn't see anything about him being on the run. Like maybe Milk's ahead of it there, or
maybe he's just in an ayahuasca retreat, you know.
Maybe we're just spouting nonsense.
This is going to be the coolest. There's a bit of a segue here, but this is going to be the coolest thing I share to you today. If you're sitting at home and you've never actually read an Arthur Hayes piece, this one was really great. He goes into a little bit of the Binance versus US situation, but also where the US and China are in relation to kind of their relationship, where China is essentially with their global macro economy as well. Yeah. 100%. That's definitely a good TLDR. He actually went into detail on why the U.S. and China are kind of settling their differences right now, and it has a lot to do with the Chinese needing to turn that money printer on. They're having some economic issues. They're having some real estate kind of situations over there with their housing market. So interesting stuff. It's going to be one of the coolest reads. Hayes does a great job. And he also talks about CZ, who is now being said to be a flight risk, by the way. If you're not following that story, they're keeping him in the country. Yeah, this is taking a weird twist. They settle with the Department of Justice. Now the SEC wants their bag. Also, Arthur Hayes pointing out that the Department of Justice settlement gift was the largest ever in American history.
Oh yeah, they made sure to mention that about 50 times in their little presser that they did. They're very proud.
What the roadmap is for those funds, you know, like I'm sure that it's going to be used to like rebuild Y or
yacht
something
party,
like that, right?
Build that wall. No, I'm
probably a metaverse location.
Look, that's I think a big reason why the SEC is now again clamoring for their cut, because this was such a big windfall in a way, right? They're getting a lot of money out of this judgment. So look, we haven't hit it yet. You know, you mentioned that we are going to hit it early, so let's just hit it real quick. The old thou shalt not speckle. There are very few, if any, laws in the wild web 3, but one, to be sure, is thou shalt not speckle. And what that means is basically just know that none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors, never have been, never will be. And you're kind of on your own in that regard, partner. We're just up here talking about cool things on the interwebs. It's all public domain, and these are just the opinions of us here on this very network and show. So, DYOR, NFA.
All right, you said we never will be. I want to push back against this. We've talked multiple times about potentially becoming financial advisors, but we're not there yet.
I'm studying up. I got my books right over here.
NFT Cutie OVOT, what's up, brother? Squashman saying cautiously optimistic about the market, starting to get early bull vibes with the alpha chats, NFT pumps, shitcoin plays, trying to keep a level head. I agree with that, sir. I completely agree with that. Here, DP saying Arthur is smart, but I hate the way he writes. Extinct, nice to see you. And then Cats Fanatic, love the cowboy gift dead look today. I agree. Yeah. Don't encourage him.
Avagachi Cowboy. That's it.
All right.
It's my new name. I'm getting rid of gift dead. I'm just gonna be the Gachi Cowboy.
Only one cowboy up here.
May I give a little small piece of alpha to the person that says that they don't like to read Arthur's writing, because I understand sometimes, like, you got a lot of things to do, you want to get through it, and I've been using this tool that's been massively helpful. It's called Voila, like the French word voila. I believe you can score it at AppSumo, like very inexpensively. It's not a sponsored post, it's just something that I've enjoyed a lot. It's an extension on your browser, and so whenever you hit like something that just looks really long and you just want to get the big points on it,
like the DeGods update,
you get a TLDR real quick, and it does a fantastic job. I use it like for that, and for sometimes there are even like YouTube videos to just extract like the main core purpose of a fucking 1 hour thing. And
yeah, Biggie, if you plugged NFT Live into Voila, what would the output be?
I can't. You need to watch it. These motherfuckers are awesome. Sorry, can't do it. That's something like that, I'm sure it would say.
Right answer.
Right answer. Like, what we do is unique in the sense that it's not just like cool shit that we talk about, but we do it in a cool way. It's entertaining. Look at you. I mean, you're dressed as an Avagachi cowboy. Where else were you gonna find it?
Yeah, where else are you gonna find that? Nowhere. Nobody's doing that shit. But I love this as a segue maybe into one of the bigger topics, because yes, ironically, they came out with a TLDR of this DeGods conversation, which Q, you very poignantly said, this is the opposite of TLDR. When Biggie said that the TLDR of China-US relations it's complicated, it's like, yes, that is a good TLDR. That is what a TLDR should be. But what we got from DeGods coming out of their clarity session yesterday is a cluster more than a TLDR.
Yeah, and shout out to Tyler who put together this long as AF TLDR. You can see this is basically what came out of the clarity session yesterday. Again, Frank came out and said, hey, look, I understand there's been a lot of community sentiment that has been super negative. I want to address this. We have a ton of plans, and boy, do they. I guess we can start and hopefully be done by the end of the episode talking about DeGods here. I want to get both of y'all's takes. I'm not gonna. I want y'all to do this first, but really, let me go through really quick this TLDR. New art for DeGods, new art for Utes. DeGoddesses, basically the female versions of the DeGods, are being sunset. There's going to be one of one DeGods for every female holder. That's one of the first times I've seen that, by the way, in this industry, that they're taking a collection and actually towards somebody's sexual orientation or genetics or what have you, they're giving an NFT to that person. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, definitely want to follow that. End of points parlors with 100 Utes prize pool, transitioning BTC to Gods project from community run to being core team run, DXYZ. So they're trying to bring all of the community into one under, it's not Utes, DeGods, Dust, all this stuff. It's going to be under DXYZ. And I'll take this point to talk about the thumbnail, Gift Ed, because you called me out there on today's thumbnail for NFT Live. There was Utes on the cover, and there was a big, broad, bold-faced text that said DeGods, and you said that, okay, let's fucking do it. but this is a great representation of their community in general. So before we go down any further, thoughts on those first lists of pieces and others.
What's that TLDR people use as like, I'm not reading all of that, but I'm happy that it happened. And if you
happy for you.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry that happened. Also, I'm happy for you or whatever. Yeah. It's like
the one question I have because you did read it, Q. I have yet to catch up with that. It's like, do we finally know what the fuck it's about? Is it the fucking Soho House thing that we've all know? Okay.
No, that's the problem.
Then when they finally pick what it's going to be about, that's been the thing that has driven me, and I think the majority of people, insane. And it's clear that the old parlor tricks are no longer working. Pick. That's all I have.
No, that's well said, because this actually does feel like sort of a continuation of some of the like it's like they're winding down certain parlor tricks with DeGoddesses and parlor points, but then there's more parlor tricks without, like, it's shocking to me that the one thing that they really need is a North Star vision of like, what is the brand really about, and like, where are they going to go with like a sustainable business model? What do they want to be when they grow up, type of thing. And that's still not there. Like, they still haven't gotten the memo that like, yo, you're missing a clear vision. Even though they had this clarity session, what they came out with was a giant more list of, quote unquote parlor tricks. And I'm not saying that like some of these can't be cool experiences or good things for the community, but you still have the underlying problem of like, what are we? What is this fucking brand? And I just want to say, like,
2 minutes ago, by the way, while you're talking,
like when you look at that list, like, do you feel more clear looking at the list? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel more clear when I look at that as a quote unquote TLDR. Building the best community on the internet. Dude, that doesn't mean anything though, bro. You got
here's the thing that bums me out a little bit about this, and it's that I want them to win.
I do too.
And the thing is, like, you know as well as I do, GIF, like,
oh my god,
sometimes people are able to build something, right? Like, I don't know, I think of Larva Labs, I think of Art Blocks, and it's like deliberate, grassroots. It takes time, it cooks, and then eventually becomes this beautiful thing, right? Other times you get a little lucky, right? And like, when I think of, for example, and I don't mean to bring it back, but like, something like the Daily Dose, like, to this day there is not a fucking Spaces in Twitter. Please tell me, correct me, show me a space that is able to continuously gather 2,000 to 3,000 people every fucking day. I don't care what you think about Ryan Carson or whether you agree with it or not. It was special. For a second there, nobody else was able to do that. And luck, creation, call it what you will. I think Frank had that, or has that, with DeGods. Not every project is able to like garner a community of like fervent believers and ride with you for how long has it been now? A year and
years,
for a while now. Like, to me, it pains me, because when you have something that special and then eventually it crumbles and you lose it, I don't know how you live with that. It's like that guy that like bought a bunch of Shiba and it was worth billions, and then he just round tripped it to zero. How do you live the rest of your life knowing that you had something like that and you fucking lost it? Like, it hurts, man. I don't want that to happen to DeGods. There's, but I do think like this is not good, man. It's like, decide on something, and I hope he's got more than just these posts to.
For a long time, I thought that. Go ahead, GIF. Go ahead.
Like, I just want to say, look, he's clearly getting that, like, we need a clear vision, because he's using words like clarity and posting about vision. But I'm sorry, saying we're going to be the coolest community on the internet is not a clear vision. That's just not.
Well, it's interesting that Jiwa brought up the royalties piece today, because really royalties coming back into the like larger scene, like let's say a marketplace like Magic Eden adds mandatory royalties, or they say, hey, we're going to heavily incentivize this. That's one way DeGods can get back on track if somehow these PFP collections aren't being traded for 0% royalties. Because one thing that stands out in that TLDR, where's the business model? Where's the revenue stream into DeGods via what they put out amongst 6 or 7 different products? Unless it's selling dust token, which I'm sure is not like the healthiest way to continue a business.
There isn't a real product. A real product would represent part of a real vision. That's the problem. There is no real substantive actual product that they're committing to. They're still testing a bunch of different things and not committing to any one serious direction to get to that. Anyway, all right. I'm with Biggie though. It's like, I want them to win, man.
Of course.
And again, I actually think Frank has it in him. If he can stick around and keep testing and building and iterating, I think he'll get there, because yeah, he does have that like special, whatever it is, that je ne sais quoi, that magic of like being able to harness, the powers of social media and get people on his side. But dude, I was hoping for clarity on the vision, and I don't feel like I'm more clear.
For the longest time, I thought Frank was playing like 4D chess. Like I really thought that he was trying to stir up drama and then being like, oh, I need to listen to the community, even though he all along knew what he needed to do. But posts like this, where they had that clarity session and he comes out with a post the next day to further clarify, don't worry, what the hell is going on over there, dude? I love the gutter cats analogy that you made, because it's in that kind of category where you're saying Frank has it, but really, I mean, the last kind of developments that I've seen over the past 6 months have shown me maybe not.
Yeah, people thought Gutter Dan had it. Look, the parallel that I was drawing there was that after the coin was nixed with Gutter Cats and there was a lot of confusion and unhappiness, they did this Kumbaya session, which I think was probably kind of similar to what happened yesterday with the clarity. Maybe it was a little bit more bottom up than top down. I don't know how this seems like it was more top down of him being like, here's all of our ideas. But they came out of this Kumbaya session, this big community get together where we're all going to like try and hug and get along and talk about, okay, what do we need to do next to like make this work together, with this like giant fucking list of like, here's all the fucking things that we're going to do. They did none of that. They ended up getting the company acquired for $0 and a promise of like some investment. Yeah. That's what ended up happening after that. So that to me is the danger when you come out of a clarity session with a giant list of we're going to do all of this. And then the next day being like, for more clarity, it's like, dude.
Marty's saying, honest question, do you guys care about DeGods or Utes at all? I don't. Will never buy one. Dead to me, not worth my time.
So,
and that conversation has 2 parts. Do you want to get involved in their community? I don't think any of us up here are saying, hey, we really want to dedicate any more of our time to another community.
Utes, I've been hanging out.
Put money in it.
I've been hanging out in some Ute spaces on X, and they're actually cool. I met Van Gogh. Yeah, like there's cool people in the community for sure. And I actually really like the Utes art. The DeGods art, I actually don't like anymore, because I've gone and spent more time. The way that they keep changing it, and now there's a bunch of mixed parts. It's like, bro, I think they kind of messed up.
We're to answer this question real quick, just like, we need W's, man. Like, I understand, like, you're Squiggle Maxi and a Punk Maxi, and that's all. That's fair, man. You know, like, you've been here early, and that's good on you, man. Like, you've got more, years than some of the people that are coming in. But when we talk about like growing this space, we need more than just Squiggles and Punks. We need more than 45-year-olds, 30-some-year-olds. You need everything, man. And to be honest, like, I think like what they've done, what they've been able to achieve so far is unparalleled to so many other well-meaning, well-funded teams out there that have tried to follow in their steps or try to accomplish something of similar. So yeah, I want them to win, man. And I'm cool with that, dude. I'd love to go to a DeGods party and fucking have a shoey with a bunch of these motherfuckers and crowd surf or whatever. Dude, I'm 44, dude. Like, and it's fine. Like, it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I don't want to like necessarily join the community, but I want to see them win, man. You should too.
Great point there. I'm gonna watch a trailer here. This is from DeGods, by the way. So let's look at the post. He's saying DXYZ. So this is like the overarching brand now that will encompass all of these things. DXYZ, the new land of opportunity. Let's watch it. See you on the other side.
Mass adoption, a sustainable business, a game, IRL, airdrops. Utility. What if I told you we are all we need? What if the answer was in front of us the whole time? Community. But aren't NFT communities just glorified Discord chats?
A network state is a social network with a sense of national consciousness, a recognized founder, a capacity for collective action, an in-person level of civility, an integrated cryptocurrency, an archipelago of crowd-funded physical territories.
Are you talking about a Discord room is going to found a nation state?
We are building a country. On the internet, people have always migrated to new places for a better life, to build careers, start businesses, and create real relationships. NFTs have formed massive, economically aligned internet communities for the first time in history. Communities will be the new land of opportunity. The core focus is building the most productive community on the internet. That means the team and community working together and having fun while doing it. It starts today. And I'm gonna go there free. We've got a lot to show you guys. Like a fool I am and I'll always be. I've got a dream. I've got a dream. They can change their minds, but they can't.
That's hilarious.
There was an actual shoe in that.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes, bro.
There's no
it's just
events. What's the word I'm looking for here? Events do not a business model make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that looked dope. That looked dope. Where's the money gonna come from, bro? Because in a year you're gonna be sitting there like, how do I fund this team of 5, 6, 10, whatever you got? And you're gonna be looking like, no.
So like it seems like the closest comparison to like, if I'm trying to think of like what's the actual product and business model here, like what's the university that like Andrew Tate has? It's like an online university where for like hustlers.
Oh my god.
No, you know what I mean? It's like, but dude, he makes real money. That's an actual business. Like he makes a ton of fucking money by having an alpha chat, but it's paid. And I'm like, okay, so are you going to have a subscription model for people to like access this productivity and be productive around? Because again, to your point, there's no actual sustainable revenue right now. You can't rely upon royalties. You cannot rely upon just events as being a sustainable business model. So it's still unclear what the actual product is. I get that you want to just be a dope fucking community. I get it, dude. I get it. And that is something like that is utility. I am on the side of absolutely having a great community is one of the primary utilities of NFTs today. I fuck with that, but that is not a sustainable product or business model. So I don't know, man. I like leaning into the vibes again. One of the things that Yuga got shat on for that they've been course correcting for is they pivoted too hard into product gaming and away from community and vibes too quickly, and they lost culture. So I actually think you could say, maybe he's tripling down on culture first and figuring out the product as he goes.
I hope they have a ton of money left because Yuga can do that. Bored Ape Yacht Club can do that. They do
have the resources.
Yes. So I that's a great point though. Like the doubling down on in the solidifying of the culture. The issue is again, cash. So there's a couple other updates in here for y'all if y'all don't know exactly what was going down. So this one's pretty cool. There's going to be like community leads of each project in a very DAO-like way. There's going to be an app called Detox, which is essentially going to be a curated X content platform from DeGods and Utes creators. D-City creating local chapters within token gated group chats. D-Starter, an internal accelerator encouraging building with the NFT IP, starting with merch. Wink, wink.
Fuck.
So, all right. Any last takes here on DeGods? Let me get a thumbs up, thumbs down on this update here from DeGods. So, I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I want to be like this, but
I do.
Yeah,
I want to be.
I want to, but I'm
it's a lot. It's a lot. I think like you should out of all that list, like maybe pick 3 at the most, and really go ham on it. Like
yeah,
really,
I agree, dude. Like to me, part of vision is focus, and like I don't see very much focus here, and that's my challenge with it because I'm not actually more clear on what the product or vision is. Other than again, like more vibes and leaning into like dude, again, like the all right, yeah. The one other interesting part of this that it will be interesting to see because they've made a habit of this now is they keep updating the art. They had this thing like they led in that TLDR with more art updates, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But like the DeGods, I actually think need work now because they made it too confusing with all the art updates. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, Utes I actually think is great fucking art, and they have a whole. They were like, oh, we're gonna now perfect the Utes. It's like, okay, like let's see how that goes. I think they're pretty fucking clean. I hope you don't fuck those up too.
Maybe I agree with you on the Utes piece. Like the art is great. It's great for a PFP. It's one of the better looking PFPs in my opinion. Maybe he is banking on royalties here. I mean, you're talking about the second most traded collection, and this isn't like a one-off day, right?
They made a ton on
in the
royalties.
top 6,
yeah,
top 8 in most traded. Maybe he is banking on this. So like, all you really need is for your collection to be traded if the royalties are involved in this scenario. All right. Any last takes, Biggie, before we pop out of here? You can see DeGods are up almost 20% in the last 7 days. So there's
Dude, I'm looking forward to seeing all of this play out and hopefully getting more clarity. Fucking please, you know. But yeah, man, wish them luck.
All right, I'm going to fly through these next quick news pieces to get over to y'all. The best performing collections here over the last 24 hours. Big winners. Vera Molnar's Theme and Variations. That's where I got that on the morning shows. Up 24%. Creeps up 24. Winzy now up 10 off that Gordon Goner buying spree. Heavy Metal up 8. Digidaigaku up 8. Big losers with the Raw Pass. Chex VV down 12. Shrapnel down 10. San Fran Tokyo down 10. And Parallel Avatars down 10. So interesting that Shrapnel and Parallel kind of pulling back off like some major increases over the last 7 days.
It's necessary, you know.
Yeah, can't be up all the time.
Your way up to heaven, you know.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on with Digidaigaku. I don't know if there's been any news there.
I don't have it.
Martin saying Frank shouldn't have doxed.
I agree with that.
Before.
Hey, Cake Nygaard has physical prints on Woven. This was the first time I'd seen the Woven platform.
Nice.
That probably was in the dark, but there's actual physical prints now. One of them being, or at least I think 15 of this full edition being signed. So this is really dope. Only for NFT holders that got in there over on Magic Eden. So this is fucking sick.
Speaking of Cake, I saw his name somewhere else. I just put the link up there, Q. Again, Transient Lab, Maxi, myself. But right down there, if you see the participating artist, Cake Nygaard is right there.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know if you guys have been following this. I am. I plan to participate in every single one of these. It's really cool. You basically get a prompt. This one is consequences. And then you write a 6-word story, you know, like a little tweet. And then whoever basically mints this and provides these prompts to the artist chooses one and then produces a piece of work based on the prompt that he liked the most, the story, the 6-story sentence that he liked the most. Some really good artists coming up there, and yeah, I really like these types of mechanics, kind of reveal co-creation type of things. But this one's got like a really good set. So
Biggie, I feel like you own every mint pass in the industry.
I wish, man. I wish, because I definitely know a lot of mint passes that I don't own, but
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
On that note, I hope
mint pass, by the way, it's just like
let me get
very-
to the rest of this quick news before we dive into anything else, guys, real quick.
Mhm.
First of all, before I do, thank you guys for commenting, making that chat box pretty fire here. Prodigy saying I had a homeless guy at 7-Eleven ask me if I had any dust once. I love that story. Extinct was saying, was that real? Was that trailer real? Yes, it in fact was. It was shared from their main account. So that's true. Thank you guys for tuning in on NFT Live today. If you guys can leave us a like while you're here, it would mean a really big thing to us. It would just mean a ton. Just a lot.
a really big thing.
Just the biggest of things.
The biggest thing, like Biggie Alpha Chad Poppins's bag of fucking NFTs right now.
DGen News reporting that Blast Layer 2 multi-sig total deposits flips Solana total value locked. That's a wild story.
What?
Over 600
Wait.
mil now locked up in Blast, and that's more than Solana.
What?
Degens, dude. I swear to God, I love you, but you terrify me sometimes. Like
They're getting after it over there on Blast. The grapes are having a pre-sale here this week. This is going to do extremely well for those that get involved. You can see that there is a certain price that these NFT holders are going to be able to get into. I think grapes are ranging within the 3 to 4 ETH range. I might be wrong,
okay? Look, so we famously slept on captains and now grapes. My question is, what is the next NFT DeFi project with a coin that we are not going to sleep on?
NFT DeFi project? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like these.
I think it's
like, isn't that what these are?
component
Okay,
to this.
gaming. They're gaming.
NFT DeFi projects. I'll tell you one that I'm keeping a close eye on, and you mentioned it right now. Creeps. Creeps has got a token like Q1 of next year, and I've been seeing them pop up all over the place. Yeah, they look like it's gonna be a solid bet. You know, something around.
That's already at 2.6 floor price though. What's
what's the next?
I'm trying to get on the early move.
Early bird. Yeah. I don't know, man. For NFT DeFi, I feel like those you have to have been riding for a while, you know, because
I'm gonna do this again just for y'all. Okay, I'm gonna do this again, and I shouldn't do this. I told myself, look, Q, fill your fucking bags before you start talking about this stuff, because I've been getting more involved in the obviously the Shrapnel ecosystem. They actually have a trailer here that I'll pull up. But you know who posted something about Shrapnel this morning was. I want to make sure I'm getting his name right. Young Content. Young Content was posting about Shrapnel. He was posting about Shrapnel Sigma containment units that are 0.042 ETH right now, 3,333 on ETH, Polygon, and AVAX. And there's an arbitrage opportunity here too, because what I saw was 0.042 right now on Ethereum is about $86. The Avalanche container units are going for $50. And so I haven't packed my bags yet. I said I wasn't going to tell y'all before I did, but you can see there's containment units. Again, let's see. Let me make sure I got the supply right. 3,333. Apparently these have in-game utility. These were dropped as a free mint back in April or March of this year. And so 0.042, like $60-$70, as opposed to the operators that are going for 0.22 right now. So I wanted to bring that up. That GIF, I was answering your question there. Some sleuthing.
It's not directly answering my question, but it is an alpha play, and I appreciate that. So we'll look into that one. Yeah, man, you're like totally overexposed or whatever. You've been like
maybe.
Look, looks like you're coming in streaming live from heaven today.
Yeah. I thought you meant overexposed on my bags.
No,
here
we're all underexposed on Shrapnel, I think, right now.
I want to share one quick thing while we're on the Shrapnel piece. They did put out a trailer literally an hour ago of some gameplay saying the fight is on. Game dev playtest from October 18th. Includes a 1v1 battle and shows game environments, weapons, and some ideas of tactics.
Trailer maxis. We got it. We got to do it.
Getting after it today. All right, so there are some elements to this that you could see it's in alpha, early access, whatever you want to call it. But overall, I can't wait to get into this extraction shooters. I never played Escape from Tarkov, but the idea that you could load in and potentially, you're at obviously risk of losing everything, but you could kill another player and take all of their loot and extract out that into your NFT wallet or something like that is super interesting. What stands out to y'all, if anything, here for the Shrapnel trailer?
That looks fucking fun. Damn.
So one of the things that I'm not a big FPS guy, but I've been working in gaming.
Yeah, you're a car ball thing.
Yeah, I'm more of like a competitive sportsing or RPG gamer or strategy gamer. But from the jump, the gameplay of this has reminded me a bit of Halo. And when we talked to the team, apparently they said that like some of their like lead artists and devs are from the actual team that's worked on Halo. So that's the one thing that I just see that this kind of looks like Halo gameplay to me, which is a good thing. Like that's a great shooter. People love that game. So
all right, that's the that's the show my bag session. I'm not doing that to show my bag. Shrapnel is, in my opinion, one of the top games. And
full transparency.
Full transparency, or we're aping in.
Yeah, we're aping into Shrapnel. Full transparency. We'll always be transparent.
All right, before we get to a couple other things that you guys want to hit on, this was another piece of news that hit the space here. Solana, MadLads, top sport apes in daily NFT sales as price surges.
This is, again, not taking our advice. I've been sitting around watching MadLads thinking about getting in because I think that this is absolutely a great play. And now I'm probably just missing the opportunity, But is it still early for them? This is what I was trying to say, right? Is like what's the actual price? Is it 10,000 yet? Is it still below 10K?
7 Gs.
7 Gs. Look, there was what I've been saying now for the last like week or two, couple weeks since they really started to pick up and separate themselves. We've been able to see that like this is now the PFP in Solana's ecosystem. Like the second and third and fourth NFT projects don't even come close to the volume that they're doing. So it's literally like a single horse race right now. And I remember back to 2021 watching Bored Apes. I got in early, got my one ape for like 0.2, bought it for like, I think it was like $250 at the time. And I was there. I was participating in the community, seeing it grow, seeing it, kind of go from strength to strength. The organic nature of the way that people were just latching on and creating their own. I was watching it. I was participating in it the whole time. And each time it would go to like incrementally, like, oh, the floor is 1 ETH. Oh, that's too expensive. I can't buy there. Oh, it's like 2 or 3 ETH. Oh, that's way too expensive. Can't be buying those. Oh, it's up at fucking like 5 ETH, 10 ETH now to get a Bored Ape. Ooh, there's no way I can buy any of those. And so there was this whole fucking like progression in time where you could be getting in still at really fucking great prices for where it went from there. but just slept on it the whole time because I was like, no, that's way too expensive. And that's what I have been thinking about MadLads, is that if this is like the fucking Solana PFP, which it seems to be pretty clearly at this point, it has an ecosystem, it has doxed legit sort of backers and people behind it. It's not just like some anon project. And Solana is going to be a player in the next run. There's tons of liquidity and people over there want their own culture. They want their own thing. So, dude, at 7K, I'm still like, bro, I might want to try and fucking find a way to get one. And this isn't, I don't think this is a short-term flip. Like, I think this is like, you want to hold this through the next bull run at least.
Yeah. It's tough for me to say something that's already at 7K USD is going to outperform something that's in the hundreds or thousand, like low thousands. It's just tough because then it needs to hit like ape levels, but I guess you could try. Biggie, there's a live mint happening right now.
Yeah, I got fucking bought it. It's done. That's why I was
what mint was this?
The Eric Calderon Squig DAO Elevate Heart.
Oh,
have we not figured out how to battle these bots yet? Like, it's been years.
Yes, it has, Q, but it's just, I don't know. What do you do there, right? Like, you're trying to make it a fair launch, but at the same time, you know, because if you do fucking allow lists, you know, people have something to say about that shit too. It's, that was unfortunate.
So Marty's saying a dude was warning them in the DAO yesterday about botting. Too bad, just got number 11 from yesterday.
Nice
on snagging that. Yeah.
So on the Solana front, if you guys want to stay in that combo anymore, let me know. I do want to bring up, and I guess I have a heavy gaming lean today. But Star Atlas is another one that's benefited heavily from everything that's been going on in Solana. You can see like this token's been dead for a goddamn long time, and it's still, if you zoom out to Biggie Poppins's like mountain to a little molehill comparison that we were doing with a lot of these tokens that are old, but you can see right here it has essentially gone on a yearly high. This is a full year zoom out here, and we have that it's up 150% in the last 30 days basically. So they're benefiting extremely heavily as well. And then I've got Illuvium that I want to talk about, but anything on the Solana front?
So I mean, not specific to Solana, but I also have a similar feeling about like where things are at with gaming right now, that I feel like we're all underexposed, because I feel like, again, y'all already know, thou shalt not speckle. This is not financial advice, but it does feel like the gaming meta is still very much just heating up. And over the coming months, especially like through the holidays and then into the beginning of the year, if Web3 gaming continues momentum, which I think it very likely will, like it's hard to imagine what's going to totally derail the momentum for Web3 gaming as a whole. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to imagine, but you know, there's black swan events, shit happens.
SEC, ETF.
SEC, yeah, it's like shit happens. But if this momentum continues right now, the biggest winners over the last couple weeks or month or so have been like all the gaming tokens. They've all outperformed. Like you can look across the board against almost everything that's been up and doing well. Gaming is like up more, right? So it's just like, dude, whether it's Illuvium, Star Atlas, like an APE Coin, Shrapnel, Prime, they are outperforming pretty much everything. And grapes now, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's a strong meta that I think is just heating up. It's
such an easier meta to form the narrative around than PFPs, especially because this is now the second cycle for PFP.
There's product and utility.
Yep.
That's it.
Marty McFly saying, if there's teabagging Shrapnel, I will play. Prodigy saying Star Atlas hurts. Prodigy, I've been trying to call you about Star Atlas, man. Get back. Look, 150% in 30 days. We'll see where they're at in a peak bull market, to Gift Ed's point. But it just seems like the narrative's there Kix actually had a really good tweet about this, and he was basically saying if you just dedicate your entire time that you're spending in Web3 to gaming, you're probably going to do okay in the next run. Like, you don't even really need to go outside into any of these other sectors. All right, I'm going to show off. Biggie, you got some?
No. I was just looking at Cat's Fanatic post, and I really do feel like it's one of those projects that I've been meaning to do a deeper dive on.
Get him on the show. Get the CEO on here, man. Like, yeah, connect us, dude. Like, we're always looking for good guests. So, like, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shared Valyria yesterday as well. So we're doing our part up here at least a little bit. All right. This one has been a long time coming. I mean, speaking of Star Atlas on that post, they were literally like, Web3 gaming is back. That's such a 2021 project statement, right? There's a lot of projects that are new that are saying, hey, Web3 gaming, this is it. We're going to take part. A lot of these older projects that have been around for 2 or 3 years, they're saying, hey, we're fucking back. And Illuvium is definitely sitting up here saying, finally, they have gameplay releases on Epic Games. This is releasing today at around 3:30, I believe, Eastern time, between 3 and 6 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be released free to play. This is going to be a PvP TFT style game. And we'll jump into the trailer because we love those trailers.
Welcome to the Ascendant Arena Starter Guide. Today we'll dive into the basics you need to know to jumpstart your adventure into Illuvium PvP. This video is designed to enhance your understanding of essential gameplay mechanics of Illuvium or more, ensuring you're well equipped for the thrilling challenges match play. Ranked is where you test your mettle against players changes. Custom match selecting your team is
Gif, I want to hop into this today, but I just know, one, I'm completely underexposed on like the NFT side. If there's some type of parallel-esque, like you have to own NFTs, I have none. I have none of these characters, so I'm interested in like the free-to-play mechanic
where strategy
on this
begins.
game.
In Ascendant,
but we can see like there's cards that essentially translate to the board. You place them on a board and they battle each other, a la TFT on League of Legends. So this has been a long time coming. Illuvium token is, I think, the best performing, or at least the top by market cap game token in the ecosystem. And now we finally have some gameplay to go along with it.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, again, having not dove super deep into Illuvium at all, like, I'm curious, like, what justifies the market cap for them? Because I did look at it. It's a massive market cap still, even, you know, when it's down like crazy amounts from its all-time high. This still has like hundreds of millions of dollars, I think. Like, so I'm curious, like, what is the token actually doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are the sinks? What's the value? Why does this token go up from here? Or like, how does it sustain this value that it has?
Yeah, I should have shared this trailer. This is the better.
This is cool.
I knew they were going to have one. There's a couple DeFi syncs with this. Kieran Warwick is the brother of Kane Warwick, who created Synthetics. So there's like a DeFi mechanic to this. That's one piece I'll say. So there's staking. I don't know the other syncs other than like the other gameplay pieces. They have like land gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, the market cap's is, even again, as beaten down as it's been, it's still at like 430 million. So it's like close to $500 million market cap still. That's wild. And that's why it's like, yeah, just not fully understanding what is the use case or the sync, or like what are the things that this token enables.
Yeah, the tokenomics. I think the original vision of Illuvium was to mesh TFT with Pokemon. There's an open world concept where you kind of walk out there, you capture these Illuvials, and then you fight them back in the arena. So I think if they can hit on that, that they're going to be in good company there. All right, I'll bring it back a little bit here, talk about the NFT market. And guys, drop any like posts or any comments you guys have that you want to touch on. This was a jarring post today. OpenSea revenue for this month was $1.9 million. And that might seem like a lot, but as you can see, in January 2022, they did almost $400 million.
I'd be more interested to see like what was November to November You know what I mean? Because I think like he's cherry picking like a probably all-time high monthly revenue to like maybe an all-time low, but it is still a glaring, and I think you use the word jarring comparison just to see where they were and where it's at now.
Kind of like our portfolios, right? I mean, not
that
too
was
different.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
They
fucking
reflect.
brutal. That was fucking
They're
savage
correlated.
right there.
Yeah.
Jesus, they are correlated.
Do you just think, okay, I'm looking at this November 2023 1.9. When we get another run, this is going to go up to 50 or 100, and we're going to be just fine? Or is this a situation where it's just like, holy fuck, like they are? You can't raise. You can't raise.
January 2022, like Blur wasn't really up and fucking kicking right yet.
Not at all.
Yeah, so I mean that there's going to be some disparity there. Having said that, I mean, I think we can agree that as much as we dislike OpenSea, it's still going to be around for a while because of its user friendliness to normies. Like I don't see normies going into Blur at all. But yeah, maybe it's going to be a little lower, hopefully, you know.
Yeah. So I agree with that. The thing that I was saying is that because the one place that they've truly been innovating or really working at, you know, making the product great is on the user experience side of things. Their user experience, as far as like a wallet explorer and a marketplace, still the best on that front. And yeah, they haven't done a lot of other things right, but they do have a solid user experience. And so I've been saying, like, when the normies eventually come back in, because again, there's no new wallets still coming in, but with a bull run and new people actually coming in, what Biggie said is, I think, true. The vast majority, like 99% of all newbies, are going to OpenSea. They're not going to Blur. They're probably not going to other places. So I do think they do better in a bull market. However, the thing that would also be interesting to look at with this comparison or with this data is what has Blur been doing? While OpenSea's revenue has been doing this, Blur's has been doing this. And so that is absolutely directionally a problem that you have to look at on their side. And that's why they're revamping or coming up with OpenSea 2.0, whatever that is, because they're getting beat down into the dust right now. At least in terms of like traders and people that are like where the vast majority of the volume comes from, they're losing it all.
I will also add, like, just as a side note, if you want to dive into the mind of Pac-Man Blur, I recently listened to a podcast on Blockchain Crunch. Phenomenal. 45 minutes of him just fucking going at it. That dude's so goddamn smart. It's insane. Yeah, honestly, our conversation yesterday regarding Blast made me, just kind of want to like review a little bit my knowledge and refresh a little bit about regarding L2s and stuff like that. And in this one in particular, he's talking mostly about Blur, but man, yeah, interesting cat. You know, like it's one of those plays where you see that $600 million locked in Blast, and you know, of course you scoff at the idea. You're like, are you kidding me? Being here in this space for as long as we have, seeing what's happened with all these different L2s, and you know, like just kind of you developed your, let's say, what would you say, like your checklist, right, of like things to look out for or things that just need to happen, right? And you know, when somebody like Pac-Man Blur comes and says, "Oh, I'm launching another L2," as much as you want to dismiss the idea, you better pay a little more attention than that. So right now, I'm just trying to dive, you know, like get a little bit more insight on like his thought process, and eventually, like I'd love to hear, like, you know, his design for this next L2, like, because when somebody like that decides that they want to launch another one, especially with the success he's had with Namebase and then Blur and now Blast, like just saying that it's because, you know, it's easy to make money launching another token doesn't sit well with me 100%. I'm like, no, man, like this motherfucker has some kind of design ideas that maybe somebody else has not looked upon, right? Like whether like you have the roll-ups, and then you have other people trying to throw hardware at the problem, but I would really love to see or know a little more about what his design for Blast is. Is it a DAG? I don't fucking know, but yeah, it's not something that I'm fading easily or willingly, but this I highly recommend this. So.
Yeah, I want to play a quick audio clip here from the beginning of this. I also didn't know that Pac-Man was Doc, so Tai Shun, and I don't know how to say that last name, Rocaro.
Yeah, it must be from Toronto, French.
So NFTs as a phenomenon, like they haven't like died out at all. It's just that we've gone down and the hype cycle.
Month ago, by the way.
And in terms of, how do things come back? I think ultimately in crypto, this is a cyclical market. It's like very obviously a cyclical market. There have been so many, bull and bear runs, and every bull run, it's hard to ever predict like what's the thing that's going to set it off.
Web3 offer.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate that. No, that's definitely on my list today.
I'm gonna listen to it for sure. It'd be awesome to get him on the show if anybody's got ties directly to him. But the one thing about him that you just cannot fade is that like nobody understands how to like growth hack in Web3 better than him, how to like incentivize people into a new funnel and get them participating, and he really gets product market fit. Like you can just tell like what he did with fucking Blur and then with Blend, the dude gets product market fit extremely well.
No, man. And not only that, I don't know if you knew this, gift, but the guy is a Peter Thiel fellowship recipient. So the guy, obviously brilliant, right? Like he was at MIT. He left MIT and took the Peter Thiel fellowship to launch Namebase. So that just
I'm not familiar with
the kid's got a fucking appetite for risk, let's just say, like and a lot of confidence. It's I don't know, there's very few people built like that, I think, in the space or in general. There's not a lot of Elon Musks running around. This dude, when you listen to this episode, Q, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because he's got his foot in like a whole bunch of different spaces, like a command of different areas that he's been able to lever into what he's producing today. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're just like, what's motivating this motherfucker, right? Like, he's just nonstop. But yeah,
world domination.
Paradigm's a great bet to have in all of this, and I think Blend goes under the radar for its launch. Like we're talking about Blast and all this stuff, but Blend was took over the lending industry, at least in the NFT sector, immediately. In the same way that Blast has now overtaken Solana on TVL.
That's wild. Yeah. You can't deny these numbers, man.
All right.
And again, there's a lot of risk there, but like a lot of people are not caring. A lot of people are just focused on the reward aspect of it right now.
Y'all, we are about to get out of here on today's episode. We are going to have a rehash later, both on YouTube and X. And obviously, we're going to be here tomorrow as well with a live episode. Kind of capping off this market discussion, Data Wolf had an interesting post here. Still in PvP mode for the NFT markets, increased volume in Blur, but number of users stay flat for both new and existing users. So we did see like a relative pickup in the month of November here. For the most part, I think we were kind of tracking it. And I remember anecdotally, like ETH users were in wallets started to get active. But I think what Data Wolf is saying here is that, hey, look, temper it down just a tad. There's still liquidity happening, but the total rush is not what we saw, even close.
The total value of NFTs has doubled from its like low just in like the last month or two. So like there's positive sentiment. There is some liquidity coming back in, but yeah, it's not new people.
All right, and
people are still coming there.
And now I have a challenge for both of you guys. Don't look at this, by the way. Don't look at the screen yet. Do not look at the screen. I'm moving quickly.
Yeah, cool.
Both of you do not look at the screen while I read this, but a look at, I'm not even going to show it. A look at how many NFTs in each collection have had zero on-chain trades on exchanges. I'm interested because there's a top 10 list here that Stats put out, and I would like to see if you guys might have seen some of the collections there, and maybe we cheated.
Well,
there,
I saw this, so I know it's like Punk's, Bored Ape, Pudgy, Penguin.
Stop. Put your guesses in the chat. Biggie Poppins. Also, I would like since you haven't seen it, do you have a guess at what else? I've only seen a couple too. So I want to take part in this. Biggie, I'm going to let you go first.
Sure. I mean, okay, fine. Like punks, penguins, what else? Fucking meme land captains. I'm curious if moonbirds have moved a lot. That would be an interesting look.
Okay.
Squigs.
I would like to see your guesses in chat before I show this.
Dude. Like, it doesn't piss me off. I love people using them as PFPs. It's just like,
this is just NFTs, by the way. It's not PFPs.
Okay, good. Shit. Who else is
okay? So you mentioned Pudgy Penguins. So Punks is on the list. It looks like 29% have never traded on an exchange before, so 70% have. Pudgy Penguins is the most traded. It's only 2% of the Pudgy Penguins collection.
Since there's pre and post Luca. It would be interesting to see pre. Okay, but I would really like to see, because I think like post Luca, I bet.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Who else is on there?
Okay.
Show us this, Q.
Okay. Number one is Meebits.
What?
47%. So almost 50% of the collection has never touched an exchange.
Oh, wow.
Clonex, Captains, Punks, Moonbirds, MAYC, BAKC, Doodles, Sappies, Miladies, BAYC, World of Women, Azuki, MFers, and Pudgy Penguins. I like that point that you make, because you feel like if Pudgies across their whole lifespan had been probably run in the same way they're run by Luca right now, they probably wouldn't be at 98% traded.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Meebits being the number one's wild. There must have been something with that distribution that made it so people don't want to trade.
Well, it is a lot of the Punks people, and
yeah.
I think partially it's not just the distro, the way and the people it was distributed to, it's the price. They were very expensive. And so I think a lot of those people, they can afford to hold those, and they don't want to let them go because they're like, yo, I paid so much for these better turn into something.
I wonder, but there you also have that kind of like factor, right? That there was V1 and V2. And I think like early on, I think a lot of people made their bets, and probably traded for whatever they are holding now, right? Like maybe like the majority of that trading volume happened pre. Just a thought. It's the type of stuff I hope eventually we're able to dive into, with some of the stuff that like Crypto Slam is developing and others.
I like that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Q, have you tried, ChatGPT, like DeFi Llama on ChatGPT?
No, I've seen that on Dune. Dune has their own AI, and I have not tried any of those. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. It's
all right. We're getting up out of here, man. But it looks like we have another DesLucrece piece here. What's happening?
Physical, the first physical. I am so psyched about. I love that it's soup. Nice nod to Andy Warhol, but it's monster soup. With different rarities and signed by DesLucrece, and I can't fucking wait. That's gonna be awesome.
Okay, do you need a DesLucrece piece to take part in
No,
this?
you need an iconic pass. That's a main pass. I do possess, and so I'm very stoked. It's been
this is King's Alpha only. This is for the Chad's Alpha only right now.
Oh man, yeah, dude, it's cool.
All right. I love his art style. I really do. It speaks to me. I don't know why, but I just it's very animated.
This particular mint pass is the one that's been behind the Jackson Pollock physical mint thing, which was really cool. I really like that one. They recently released one with Norman Rockwell. I like Norman Rockwell. I did not like the mint for that one in specific, but I've been waiting for them to do something with Web3 artists, and finally they've revealed, and this is the first one coming out. And dude, yeah, stoked. I think, you know, DigiPhysicals, whatever you guys want to call it.
Thank you.
Our thing.
Nobody wants to call it that except for this ridiculous person. They're Phygital. That's clearly the better term. Why are we? This is not a great way to. This is not. This is not how I want to end the show. This is.
That's fucking hilarious. Are we still live?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, dude. Yeah, man.
I love that. Hey, look, we'll have that debate on another day. That was a.
We've had the debate. There is no debate about which is better.
This will continue time immemorium until somebody settles it. All right. We are going to get out of here, y'all. Appreciate you staying through the entirety of the episode. Prodigy, DP, Marty McFly, Cats Fanatic, SP, Squashman. Always love the drum and bass on that Shrapnel video. I'm about to go buy those. God, I even forgot what they're called, like sediment containers here. Theophiles, NFT QD. What's up, man?
One question about the shrapnels, that because I know you've been harping on the, what is it, the communicators, or what are they called?
Operators.
The operators. That's the main PFP like play fucking doll for that game, right? Like,
Did you
it's
say
not
play doll.
Whatever. You know
Anything
what
I was gonna say to you. I'm holding
Play
all the
dolls.
alpha from you before you call them play dolls. Yes,
That's
that
what
is
they
the
are.
main PFP of that ecosystem, Biggie.
Okay.
They're Phygital play dolls.
It's just I would hate to like get one and it's like, oh yeah, that's like the secondary. Like there's a bigger operator or whatever they're called, Shrapnel boy out there. And so
The bigger play doll.
trying to track them,
Damn,
trying to get updated. I ordered my controller because I'm not a keyboard person. I refuse.
I can see that.
Until the last day. But I got myself a controller because I do plan to start jumping into Fortnite and all this. I want to have fun too.
Heck yeah.
Love it, dude.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right, Shrapnel, we're putting in work for you, even though they called you Beanie Babies. Pretty much. I don't know what
We're
they called you.
onboarding Biggie into gaming here, one episode at a time.
Shrapnel dolls. Yes, that's here on out. I'm calling them Shrapnel dolls. Quantum Variant saying DigiPhysical OVOT. Wow. My man, I didn't know you were on. I didn't know you were on the bandwagon here, but I appreciate it.
Yeah,
awesome.
it is a bandwagon of utter stupidity.
All right,
It
around
would be
the
really
clear-
funny if eventually like we find a way to distinguish one from the other, but they're both valid. So you have to clarify it if it's a digital or a DigiPhysical. What would be
There you go.
the difference?
The Phygital ones are the ones you lost money on. The DigiPhysical ones are the ones that
That you
are
lost
quality.
time and energy and brain cells on. Yeah.
Okay,
I like
that-
the idea
that
of
one.
the digital being 100%
Biggie is inciting.
physical, but it's like an NFT, and a DigiPhysical is one that has a counterparty, like both.
Oh, I see.
How?
Yeah, okay. We're on to something here on NFT Live per
Yeah.
usual.
No.
Folks, we have in about, I'd say, probably a few hours. That's going to give you a recap on everything we talked about today. And if anything broke in between 1 p.m. and about 5, we're going to have it covered there each day. So I appreciate y'all showing up throughout our Vibe Art Tribe. Biggie Poppins, Gifted, let's head around the circle. One quick word before we head out of here, and then we will shut down.
OBOT, fam. See you soon.
Heck yeah. Lick the like if you haven't already. We appreciate it. All of the shares, the people that show up. We see you. We appreciate you. 787 coffins minted. It's amazing. And big love to those that are. Check them out if you haven't. Use the generator when gas is low. Only 16 days left. And all right, we'll be back later. Appreciate y'all.
Before we get any more DigiPhysical official comments here, we'll just say OVOT because it looks like they're coming in support of Gift Dead. We have to shut down the show.